The Sal Sirchia Show, the mayor of rock and roll.
Hey, folks, how we doing out there? This is show number 15, Sal Sirchia. You know, Joanne, every time I hear that thing that says the Sal Sirchia Show, it makes me want to say, with the stars, Art Connie, Audrey Meadows, and Joyce Rendell.
I know it does sound like that, but I like it. I think it's pretty cool.
I love it. But after I hear it, I just feel like going into Sal Sirchia Show with the stars, Art Connie, Audrey Meadows, and Joyce Rendell. So,
Jane Keane! I love those guys. Yeah,
tonight we got an incredible show, man. There's been a lot of excitement, Like I was just telling Jackie right before we went on live, that this is like the Howard Stern show. I'm Howard Stern with the long black hair. Robin's a black woman, just like Robin, Joanne and Robin. Mm-hmm. And the real joke man, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, is with us in this crowd. So, I mean, we got to get people like Gene Simmons and interview them. I mean, Jackie was in the studio with Howard Stern doing that with like all these huge people. But let's do a quick introduction. And even though everybody knows who Jackie the Joke Man Martling is, but we'll do a quick introduction, a little fast thing. Martin began his show business career as a musician on Long Island in New York, playing. Actually, he's a great musician as well. I think all actors and comedians are always great musicians first. That's how it seems to go. And he had like a trio, 3 guys, a comedy trio. And they used to play all clubs all over the place and up on radio and movies. And, instead of me talking all this stuff, let's just introduce Brother Jackie, the Joke Man Martling. Where are you, brother?
I did not get my check.
Joanne, you didn't write the check out for tonight?
Jane Keane.
I forgot.
I told Joanne. I did. I told Joanne. I said, make sure you write out $100,000 cash to Jackie because he's gonna,
I want to tell you what I did for you. I was sitting with my sister and my niece and their people about 5 minutes away in this luxurious little Oyster Bay apartment, and all of a sudden I realized, you know what, I don't want to do an interview on a cell phone because that could crap out. And I got in my car and zoomed here. I walked in like a minute ago, so I'm lying here on my couch on a decent phone. So I just want you to know I went to a little extra effort for you guys.
Oh, you see, and you know what, and you sound really, really good. But I did do a few in the beginning. Because this is show number 15 already, or is it 16? I'm starting to lose track. Been doing this for quite a few months. And I did my first few shows on cell phones, and I heard, when I listened to it over, because, once we're on live, it's on the internet forever, so people could always just play it anytime they want. And I listened to a few of them, and I'm like, I don't like the way that sounds with a cell phone.
No, it's no good. It's no good. Plus, I wanted to get out of there so I wouldn't eat any more garlic nuts and pulled pork and coleslaw and... I'm trying to keep svelte for that big movie role that's around the corner. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, there's just tons of movie roles, and she not only does Jackie is one of the kings of comedy out there, playing the governors and all. He's got like 26 credits in movies. I mean, we even worked in the movie together, Send No Flowers with Sean Young, and you were great in that one when we saw the premiere.
Thanks. Yeah, Sean's become a good friend. That's really great. She's very cool, very fun.
Now, I want you to know, Jackie, this is internet radio. Now, Jackie's he has his own show. He was on Howard Stern for years.
Well, you're speaking of 15 shows. We just did our 366th Jackie's Joke Hunt on Sirius XM, Howard 101, and we're on every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. And it's just great fun. We've been doing it for 7 years, and we just do filthy jokes for an hour, and just... the whole world's listening. It's really fun. It's really fun.
And that's the great thing about the Sirius radio and internet radio is that you can say anything you want. FM, AM, you can't curse, you can't do none of that stuff. So.
Yeah, but I like that. Like dancing in the rules is part of the fun. So either way is fun. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I agree. Either way is definitely fun. But I just want to let you know that tonight, if you want to loosen up and go crazy on me and go right ahead. Have no fear.
No, I'm only gonna curse when I talk behind your back.
I'm turning my head around. Where are you? I don't see you, brother. You're not back there. So what's going on? Aren't you doing a gig next
I just
week?
came from Myrtle Beach. We had 5 great shows down in Myrtle Beach. Even with the bad weather, all the people that were down there for golf were frustrated, so they all came to the comedy club. So we had 5 sold-out shows in Myrtle Beach, which was great fun. And this week I'm doing Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, it's actually owned by 2 brothers named Dean and Jerry, which is so fun. And it's a little club in Point Pleasant Beach, and he's been doing comedy for about 5 or 10 years, and it's just a great club. And I've been going there for, I don't know, since he's been open. And it's one of the clubs I really, really dig. It's a little place, and it's just a kick-ass couple hours. And then Saturday night, I got a big gig at the Cutting Room. They redid the Cutting Room in Manhattan, and it's unbelievable now. It's like a little vaudeville house. The bar is actually a Fender Stratocaster. You have to see it to believe it.
Oh, wow.
It's at 32nd, right near Park, and my show's at 8 p.m. I got this wonderful female comedian, and I guess you don't say comedian anymore. A female comedian. I guess you just call them comedians now. You can't even say that they got a vagina. But Jenna Kingsley, who's really, really funny, so she's opening the show, and then I'm doing the show. It's 8 p.m., 32nd and Park. And anybody wants to come to the show, all the information is always on jokeland.com, the website I've had forever. And, Sal, I've had a dial-a-joke going for 35 years. For 35 years, I put jokes on the phone for free. It's made me infamous internationally, most famous for not making any money from it. But it's 516-922-WINE. And people can't believe that all these years, people come and say, hey, Jackie, I used to call your phone line 20 years ago. I go, yeah, well, dial it now. And they go, come on, you're kidding, 922-WINE? I said, go ahead, and they dial it because everybody's got a cell phone. And they, hey, this is Jackie. Thanks for using your finger. Dial 516-922-WINE. They can't believe it. They say, like, wow, this is deja vu, man. I called this in high school, and now I'm retired. It's just
That's amazing. How many years did you have that on?
I started in 1979. We started comedy on Long Island, and I got this bright idea. Let me put a phone line with dirty jokes on it, so people call for the dirty jokes, and they'll hear where our show is going to be. And then that show at Cinnamon in Huntington in 1979 grew into the East Side Comedy Club, that grew into Governors and Brokerage and McGuire's, and the whole thing completely blossomed. But that 922-WINE helped start the whole thing, and that's how I ran Governor's Comedy Shop for a couple of years, and the way I got the gig is they said, hey, let's get the guy with the phone line. So that phone, that phone line introduced me to Rick Dees, and Rick Dees from Los Angeles is actually the guy who named me Jackie the Joke Man. So, so that's been part of my history forever. But meanwhile, the bottom line is if you call that number right now, you'll find out what number to call to get a ticket for the Cutting Room. So, all roads lead to. It's my way of saying in 35 years I haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always tell people, I was just telling my wife before, I got so much going on that nothing is going on.
Yeah, right. You're so busy doing stuff, you can't do anything.
Right. I said, I'm doing this. I'm doing a radio show. I'm writing songs. I'm talking to publishing people. I'm working on trying to get some movie parts. And I said, there's so much great things going on. With 35 cents in my pocket, it's amazing. It's
yeah. You don't want to waste that money. You might need it for a stamp.
Is a stamp? You can't even get a stamp for 35 cents. You know
what? That's absolutely true. That's so funny.
I was talking to my friend Richie Blackwell. He used to play congas for Bruce Springsteen. And he used to tell me all the time, he said, Sal, we come out of the gig, and here I am getting mobbed for autograph all these kids, and he goes, I'm signing the autographs, and I got 35 cents in my pocket and a hole in my sneaker, He said, well, you're on the stage with Bruce Springsteen, but, Bruce Springsteen's the guy making all the bucks.
Yeah, it's rock and roll, buddy. It's rock and roll.
Rock and roll, baby. Oh, yeah. You got to love it with all your heart to do it, because most of the time, depending, unless you're a big, huge rock star, like KIIS and those kind of guys, then you're making you go out and do some shows and you get $50,000 each.
I played music till I was 31, and to quote Rodney Dangerfield's old joke, I quit music when I was 31, and to give you an idea how well I was doing, I was the only one who knew I quit. You know what I mean? And I knew I wasn't going to make any money, and I had all these jokes I'd been telling my whole life, so I just started telling them on stage. And then I knew what I was doing, so I made a couple albums, and then I sent them to Howard, and he called me up. So I kind of got lucky, but made my own luck. But we all start out with a guitar trying to get laid, and then it blossoms,
Trying to get laid, right? Exactly. Well, either trying to learn how to play a few chords. But you at some of your shows recently, I've seen pictures posted of you with an acoustic guitar. I guess you do a couple of skits with the guitar.
Well, I did a one-man show for a couple of months at Iridium a couple of years back, and that was, I played my guitar and played some songs with the Frank Vignola Trio, and then told some stories, and then told some jokes, and then played some more songs. I for the first couple of years I did comedy, I always had my guitar on. I really, I still love it. I love my songs. Just the fact that they stunk didn't mean anything. My heart and soul was into the whole thing. I still love my songs,
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes, like I said, even with, like, American Idol, either you got to sing like Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston, or you got to be so bad that you're funny. There's no in between. Elvis and the Beatles would have never made it. It's true. It's like, I auditioned for America's Got Talent a long time ago. I got up there, I sang my song. I was a regular, nice, good pop song, my natural self. And then you got some guy came in, he was like goofy as hell and then funny and so bad that it was funny that he got the gig, So
stop being so jealous.
Well, at least I never got gonged at the Gong Show. I know people got gonged. Remember the Gong Show? That was a pissy.
Oh, sure. That was great fun. That was great.
Now, let me ask you something. For people, there's probably about 20,000 people.
The Gong Show is why I'm a comedian.
Is that true? Really?
Well, completely indirectly. Do you remember a place in Roslyn on Long Island called My Father's Place?
Oh, I hung out there many times, absolutely.
Okay, there was a place called My Father's Place on Long Island. You got to say that because I used to say My Father's Place, and people say, "Oh, your father had a bar?" No, it was called My Father's Place, and whenever my band, I had a 3-piece band called the Off Hour Rockers, hour with an H, and we were fun and we were funny, and we did songs and did original songs, and we were wild as hell, but we really didn't fit anywhere. But once in a while, we'd get a gig at My Father's Place, and it was a big deal to get booked there because, Springsteen and the Stones, everybody played there. But the guy, Michael Epstein, Epi, who owned it, who's still in the area, he's still a wheeler dealer, booker, music agent. He's just a great guy. He's been around forever. If anybody in the music or comedy industry, if you say Epi, their face either drops or lightens up or both because, he had an interaction with everybody on the planet. And he booked our band for My Father's Place, and we were all excited. We invited all our friends and, the whole deal. And we showed up to do a sound check, and he had booked the club for 7 o'clock for the Gong Show auditions to make a few extra dollars before the regular night, regular show that night. So, we got done with our sound check, and I'm watching this Gong Show auditions, and here's a couple of comedians, and I said to myself, I'm as funny as these guys, and I walked up to this guy, Richie Minervini, and I said, how the hell did you get to be a comedian? And I swear to God, he said, easy, I had cards made, and he hands me his card, and he's the guy I started the show with at Cinnamon, and he's the guy whose brother and him started the East Side Comedy Club, and to this day, we're best friends. We've been best friends since that night in 1978 when he was auditioning for the Gong Show. So the guy, whenever I hear Gong Show, I'm like, oh, that's how I got wound up in this stupid comedy business, And
isn't it weird that I don't know what made me bring up the Gong Show. I must have been catching your brain waves or something because I haven't thought of the Gong Show in years.
Yeah, no, it's just that it was one of those epic things. It was just so much fun. Chuck Barris came up with that idea, then he couldn't get anybody to host it, so he figured, well, he'll host it himself, and he wound up making him a celebrity,
Uh-huh.
That's great fun.
Yeah, a lot of people came from that show. I think one of them was Leanne Rimes. I remember Leanne Rimes lost to some other kid, and the kid that won never went nowhere, and Leanne Rimes became a huge superstar. So, the gong doesn't matter sometimes,
No, hell no. Who cares?
It doesn't matter sometimes.
I hear gongs in my sleep. You got to ignore that crap,
Now, Jack, I bet you there's about we've had like 11, 12, 13,000 people tuning in every week. And I bet you, because of you being on the show tonight, it's going to probably double that.
Well, listen, if anybody's listening, if you like jokes, every day at 4:20 p.m., which is International Marijuana Time, I tweet out a joke. I tweet a different joke. I've been doing it for about a year now. So if you follow me on Twitter at Jackie Martling, JACKIEMARTLING, you'll get a joke every day at 4:20. Sometimes the jokes are better than others, but people, they always say, that's great. I completely forget every day, and all of a sudden, ding, I look down and I got a joke. And sometimes it's great, and sometimes I want to punch Jackie, and sometimes both, you know. But it's a different joke every day.
You record one every day?
No, not record them. They're tweeted. What are you, a dinosaur? They come as a tweet.
I thought you were pulling out the cassette player or something like that.
No, you don't know what Twitter is?
I do. I'm on Twitter, matter of fact.
Well, but if you followed me, you'd get a joke. Follow me at Jackie Martling. Just go on there and click follow, you idiot.
So wait a minute. No, wait. How do you put you? You don't have to put it on every. I mean.
No. I got a program. I'm loaded up until the middle of May.
So it's already loaded. You don't have to fool around with it no more.
It's already loaded. If I died in a car crash tonight, you're still going to be getting tweets for 2 months. It's like my ghost is going to be tweeting you jokes. It's a kind of a scary thought.
You got Joanne cracking up over there. Joanne, you're digging this.
Joanne, follow me on Twitter. I put in some nasty-ass jokes, man. And you know what's really fun? Is Twitter is 140 characters. I'm sure you don't know that, Sal, because you're not from this planet.
No, I'm definitely not from this planet. There's no doubt about that.
But I take long jokes, not just two-line jokes. I take long jokes and somehow scrunch them down into 140 characters. And it's amazing. If I can get the point across, I put them in there. And I got people, they email me and say, Jackie, how the hell did you get that joke into 140 characters? And it's really fun, you know.
Sure.
Wow.
Hey,
and
Joanne,
everybody retweets them. That's what's great. Everybody, people get them and then retweet them. This retweet thing is great. Do you know who Jeff Garland is?
Jeff Garland. Sounds familiar.
Did you ever see Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Still not sure. I can't.
Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David? What are you really aren't from Pluto, huh?
You know what it is? I'm so involved in doing my own thing that I don't know what's happening out there anymore. It's like
you had to work hard to get that 35 cents in your pocket.
Exactly. I'm doing so many things. I'm not paying attention to a lot. There's a lot of stuff. I'm just watching movies from 10 years ago for the first time now.
All right. Well, if the audience is interested, if you know who Jeff Garland is, just follow me on Twitter and I'll explain. At Jackie Martling. It's too long to explain if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it can be a really good thing. If something nice happens, it's really fun how it can spread like wildfire. It's very cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So now Joanne is a very big fan of yours. Joanne's a big radio person, right, Joanne?
Yep, that's right.
And I'm sure you might have a few questions for Jackie.
I talked to Joanne for a few minutes yesterday, and I hope she denoted that I was flirting with her ever so slightly.
And she's hot, Joanne.
I noticed.
Joanne's hot.
I noticed.
I told her I need kitchen treatments, but I need treatments even worse than my windows. You know what I'm saying, Joanne? If you read between the thoughts here.
Robin's going to get jealous, Joanne.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So Joanne, Robin's going to get jealous.
Joanne, I'll answer any question. First answer is 8 inches.
Oh.
Okay, so here we go.
Which is a little too wide for most women.
Well,
8, huh?
Yeah, right? But listen, my question is, because I'm really curious about, is this what you've always wanted to do? Be a comedian?
To Sal? What are you, stupid? You think I spent my whole life wanting to talk to Sal?
But you know what? Look how long
this is what I want to do. This is on my way to being famous. Talking to Sal is just a stepping stone.
Yeah, but look how long it took him to get to that goal to talk to the mayor of rock and roll.
Joanne,
many people?
I'll tell you the honest truth. We were having a snowball fight in 3rd grade, and we came in and sat in my buddy's living room, and we were all freezing because this is 1956. This is long before the days when everybody had a dryer and you could just throw your clothes in the dryer. So we literally had to come in and drip dry and try and warm up before we could go out and have any more snowball fight. And I'm from a very small town, so I'm like in 3rd grade, another guy's in 2nd grade, another guy's in 4th grade. It's like about 6 or 7 of us sitting there. And my older cousin walked in, who was in 8th grade, which was very, very much older. And he took out a piece of paper and read a dirty poem. And everybody was enchanted. Everybody was blown away by his poem. And I looked around. I could still, to this day, remember he killed that little group of guys, and it must have made some kind of imprint in my mind because since that day, I've remembered every joke, clean or dirty or otherwise, that I've ever heard.
Wow.
And it just has stuck with me, and I don't know, even though I had no idea why they stuck with me. I had no intention of ever doing anything with them. I thought everybody knew them, and at some point in my life, I found out that everybody didn't remember all the jokes, and when I bailed out of music in 1979, I just started telling those dirty jokes on stage, and so did I know what I was doing? No, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I liked playing music because it was going to help me meet girls, and it was going to give me if I was going to be in a bar drinking anyway, I might as well be playing music. And then I wanted to give up music, but I didn't want to give up drinking, so I started telling my jokes on stage. And so, you just wind up in show business. I don't know whether it's because it's what you aspire to or because it's lack of any other aspiration, So to answer your question,
but you
I have no idea.
But you like the way it made you feel. You like the way it made you feel.
Sex.
Like, right?
Yeah.
You didn't hear Joe? He said that and sex.
Yeah.
He said.
Well, of course. But I'm saying,
you know what it is. You know what it is? We're getting that real Howard Stern feeling here. There's no doubt about it. I'm trying to hold back myself. I feel like really letting go of myself because we got Brother Jackie there, and Rob and Joanne, baby. So I'm really feeling that Howard Stern feeling. Tell us a little bit about being your experiences on the Howard Stern show, brother.
It was fine. That's enough of that.
I don't want to talk about that shit.
No, I don't want, but it's redundant. It was
old school,
it couldn't
man.
have been better. It couldn't have been better. It was great fun.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Now, okay. So this joke blew your mind. It stayed with you forever. You heard it in 1920. You said.
And what happened was, I heard that. I heard the jokes. I remembered all the jokes. I worked in a music studio in the 70s. And when I started doing comedy, I made a record. Then I made another record. And by 1982, I had 3 comedy records. I was working in Washington, D.C., doing stand-up. And this guy told me, hey, there was this guy that just got fired, and he's going to WNBC in New York City. You should look him up. So I sent my 3 comedy records to Howard Stern, care of WNBC. I didn't know from anything. I didn't know who he was. Mm-hmm. And a month later, he called me up and said, man, your albums are great. You know every joke in the world. Why don't you come hang out on the air today? So I drove into Manhattan. I went to 30 Rock, sat down with Fred and Robin and Howard, and we laughed our asses off for 4 hours. And at the end of the day, he said, man, we really like you. Come back next week. I came back once a week for 3 years for free. And in that interim, I had started slipping him jokes and ideas. And then we went to mornings, and I became head writer, and we went on, I became a 5-day-a-week cast member, and we syndicated to Philadelphia, Washington, Los Angeles, and then 55 other cities, and we went to the moon. And it was that simple.
Now, this is a great story. I'm sure there's thousands of people out there that just didn't know about this, and I'm glad that was a beautiful story just now because
the details of it are so much fun, and I'm done with my book. I'm still trying to figure out whether to look for a publisher or self-publish it. But the story is really great, and the devil's in the details. But in a nutshell, that's what I did. I sent my records blindly, and Howard called me up, and he said, come in. And at the end of the day, they said, wow, that was really fun having you here. And then it was fun having me there for 18 years.
Now, Jackie, I've seen your records. I've seen the album covers and all that. Were those on a major label, or was it an independent label or your own thing?
You know what happened? I worked in a recording studio called the Workshop Recording Studios in Douglaston. And I'll tell you, Joanne, I'm like gum on the bottom of your shoe, right? I worked at this guy's studio, and the guy I met the guy when we were playing in the same bar in East Meadow called Neptune's Pub. And him and his partner played all Beatle music. They were called Savoy Truffle, and they were famous all over Long Island. And we played another different night. There were 2 different Neptune pubs. They played one night in each place, and we played one night in each place. So we never got to see each other play. And my band recorded a single, and we did a live version of one of the songs. And Kevin's recording studio is the place where we did the record. So Kevin came to record us live. And me and him hit it off, so he asked me to work in his studio. Me and him became so close that as I speak to you, he's one of the people I just left. He lives with my sister. I just left him at dinner 20 minutes ago, okay? He's been a dear friend for 40 years. working at that studio, I learned how to make a record. I started in comedy. I came home one night and I said to my girlfriend, they laughed at every joke. Every time I opened my mouth, they laughed. I should make a record. And she said, well, don't look at me, make a record. So I started putting up microphones. I recorded me into one side of the stereo and the crowd into the other side of a stereo on a cassette player. Mm-hmm. And then I edited it onto quarter-inch reel-to-reel, cut it up with a razor blade. I borrowed $100 from 15 different people, used the $1,500 to get the record pressed. I sent them the picture of my 8th grade class photo, which had me giving the finger in 8th grade. Swear to God. That's the cover of my first record. It's on my website. And I got 1,000 records with the $1,500 that I borrowed from my friends. And then I got Governors. I put out a second record, and they were completely made by me. You know, they were my pictures, my recordings. I cut it up. I had them pressed. They were as homemade as anything could be. I was selling my records at gigs. Nowadays, you can't go to see a comedian who's not selling CDs. But in those days, I was the only one that had a product. And the other guys used to make fun of me because I used to stand there and sell my stuff. And then one day, somebody said, you know what? We made $50 a piece tonight, and Martling made $50, but he made another $70 with those stupid records that he sold. Mm-hmm. Who are we laughing at? Suddenly they realized I was the little pig that had the brick crap house. You know what I mean? I knew what I was doing. And so by the time I had 3 albums out, I sent them to Howard. He might have thought, you know, they were on Buddha Records or Columbia Records, but they were Jackie Martling's product from my mother's attic. You know what I mean? But they looked good, and they were impressive, and they kicked ass, you know.
They look like major releases. I mean, I looked at them. You know, you could see the album covers if you go to Google and put in your name and click on images, and there's tons of pictures of you, which that's how I've been using the pictures to promote the show all week. And you'll see the album covers, and I'm looking at them, and I'm saying, were these like on RCA Records? Was this a major release?
The second record I made was called Goin' Ape. I went to Lillian Costume Shop in Mineola on Long Island and said, listen, I got no money. I'm a comedian. I'm making a record. Let me borrow a gorilla suit, and I'll give you a credit on my record. And they said, you know what, you're a maniac, but here's the gorilla suit. Me and my friend Burf went to the Bronx Zoo. Swear to God, I smuggled in the gorilla suit in a paper bag. We went into the zoo. I went behind a tree and put on the gorilla suit and walked around Bronx Zoo scaring the crap out of people for about 10 minutes until we got thrown out of the zoo. And on the front of the album, you see me buying a ticket to the zoo dressed as a gorilla, but that was on the way out. On the way out, I said, wait a minute, take a picture of me buying a ticket. That'll be funny. And so on the cover, you see me in a gorilla suit in the Bronx Zoo. It's hysterical. Imagine you're a little kid and you see a gorilla walking around. And the name of the album is Goin' Ape.
Now, see, that's the thing. That's the thing why you're so popular and you made it. You know, well, I mean, have we made millions of dollars on any of us? Not really. I don't know if you did and just didn't tell nobody. But
no,
what's really
did.
making it?
I don't have it anymore. But I made my millions. You know, I was so comfortable. I said, this is not comfortable. I was too uncomfortable being comfortable. I said, let me get rid of this money as quick as I can. So I did.
You spent it right away.
It's not easy when you don't gamble and you don't do coke. It's hard to get rid of it. But I found out you just put it in the water and the tide takes it. Very simple.
Joanne, you believe that story?
No,
Joanne?
of course not.
Did she fall asleep? Am I being boring, Joanne? Did I put you to sleep?
No, I'm listening to you.
Actually, Joanne is always checking to see if there's any calls. Sometimes Joanne,
there you go.
If you don't hear her for a second, she's checking to see. Is there anybody calling in, Joanne?
Not yet, but I want Jackie to know that I find him fascinating. Absolutely.
You're not going to tell me you believe one word of these stories, do you?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I do.
You know, and we usually go to commercials a lot, but do you want to have any commercials tonight with Jackie online? I mean, should we even do that?
No, you do whatever you got to do. I don't care. I'll talk for a few more minutes. You want to take a commercial break? I'll hang on for a few minutes.
Sure. Do you want to do a commercial?
Here we go.
Okay, here we go, folks.
Here is a well-documented fact. Humans spend approximately 33% of life in bed. That's a good reason to consider bringing your bed into the 21st century with Function All Linens. They'll change your bedtime forever. Designed for every kind of bedtime you can imagine, these fun and functional bed sheets have his and her side pockets that hold pretty much everything but the kitchen sink. The pockets allow you to have your cell phone, iPad, remotes, and anything else you need within your fingertips' reach at all times. No more cluttered nightstands. No more fumbling around in the dark. Simply reach for your pocket. Experience the affordable comfort and pure luxury that only Function All Linens can offer. For more information or to order, visit functionall-linens.com or beddazzle.com.
And we are back, folks, with brother Jackie, the joke man Martling, baby. Actor, comedian, musician.
All right.
And what else does he do? He does it all, man. He's an actor, comedian, most important, radio host on Sirius Radio. Listen to me. I'm on my radio show for only 3 months, and I'm not acting like a bigger shot than Jackie is. He's like the king of radio over there. Tell us about some more stuff about your own show, man.
My show is it's great fun. It's Jackie's Joke Hunt, and my co-host is Ian Carr, who I met at the Friars Club. And it's funny because I met him at the Friars Club like 15 years ago, and after talking for about 2 minutes, he goes, "Man, you are nothing like the guy I know from the Stern Show. You're nowhere near the person that you painted to be on the show, you know." And I said, "Oh, you know, that's nice." And he said, "Yeah, I'm thinking of writing a book." And he said, "Well, let me come talk to you, and we'll do it on tape. It'll be fun, and maybe it'll draw some stuff out of you." So we went back to my apartment, and he asked me a few questions. And we talked for a couple hours on tape, and we laughed and had such a great time. And then they asked me if I wanted a show on Sirius XM. Well, it was Sirius at the time. Tim Sabian from the Stern Network said, "Do you want a show?" I said, "I'd love a show." And they gave me a show, and I said, "You know what? It'd be really fun to do with a partner." So I'll never forget, I was driving on I-95 on the way to the show in Connecticut, and I called up Ian. I said, "Hey, just like you're asking somebody to marry him, I swear, to marry me," I said, you want to be my co-host on the radio?" And he said, "Yeah." It was really great. And that was like 2006 or 2007, and we started doing Jackie's Joke Hunt, and we've been doing it for over 7 years. You know, we tell jokes. I give everybody that's a guest on the show gets a joke. We tell a joke, the guest tells a joke, the engineer tells a joke, the guy answering phones tells a joke. Then we give out setups without the punchlines for the guests, for the listeners rather. And then I have games that we play, the word game, or we play this game called Equals. And then we take phone calls and people try and stump me with a joke, or they tell us a joke, and it's just a free-for-all for an hour. And people love it, and they're listening to it all over the planet, and it's really fun. And we get crazy feedback. You know, I had a guy tell me the other day that, you know, he went for a serious operation, and I gave him a shout out on the phone, and it perked him up and made him feel so good. He said it might even help his cause, you know. So, you know, if you think you're helping anybody, you know, making people laugh is fun. You know, it's not totally altruistic, because making somebody laugh makes me feel better than it makes them feel. But if everybody wins, it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man. Absolutely.
And that's all our show is. We don't talk about politics, and we don't care about anything except trying to make people laugh. And it's just so goofy. And it's like, if you like jokes, it's the greatest show. And if you don't like jokes, don't listen. If you don't like the opera and you go to the opera, who's the moron? Not the people singing opera on the stage, the person sitting in the crowd with the ticket that went to see opera that didn't like opera. That's the stupid person, not the person singing, Joanne.
That's right. I agree.
Hey, you know, and Jackie, Joanne, your dream has always been to do radio, right?
Oh yeah.
Joanne, I'm inviting you. Would you like to come on the show Tuesday night and tell some dirty jokes?
I would love to do that.
Where do you live?
In New Jersey.
Can you get to Broadway and 6th?
I certainly can.
Okay, you email me, and I will email you directions, and you can come on the show. Just don't bring Sal. He can come in.
No, I'm not coming. I already been there, man. I've been there to that Sirius Radio stuff, man. I got interviewed by Dee Snider and Debbie Rochon with the Fangoria Radio, man. When my movie Knock Knock came out, we did an hour show on Fangoria Radio with Dee Snider from Twisted Sister and Debbie Rochon. You're going to love it, Joanne. The place is a real radio station with the microphones and the boards
they
and
have
the
microphones.
headphones.
They have microphones and they have booths and
the
faders.
boots, everything. It's
There's
just like
doors and floors and walls. You wouldn't believe this place. It's like a building.
You know, Jackie, you have no idea. Joanne, you have no idea what you've done to Joanne tonight. Right?
Yes, you have no idea
absolutely.
what I'm going to do to Joanne tonight.
But I'm excited to tell a joke. I get to tell a joke, right, Jackie?
And we'll give you a joke to tell, something really filthy.
Wonderful.
Well, you know what?
Okay.
I just came up with a little joke in my mind. I got a joke right now. Let's see if either one of you know this joke. I know Jackie knows every joke on the planet because he's the king of joke. He's Jackie the Joke Man Martling. But I have a little joke right now, a very small one. Maybe you guys could use it on Tuesday night. Let's see. What did the rug say to the Christmas tree?
Jesus.
Holy shit. I have a joke that Jackie doesn't know?
Your balls are hanging.
Very good. You got it, brother.
Oh,
See,
boy.
Joanne,
Wow,
I was
he
waiting
got
for you
it.
to get it. That's why you're not on the show, Sal, because you would have told that joke.
I think I read that. I think I read that joke on one of those. No, it couldn't have been an ice cream stick because they wouldn't put that on an ice cream stick.
I mean, maybe it was on one of those Salada tea bags.
It's one of those things, exactly. But I got a few good jokes from those ice cream sticks. You know, when you get the ice cream stick, and it gives you a joke or two.
Bazooka Joe.
Oh, yeah.
But wait, how come it's... Yeah. What's that? Hello?
Everybody all of a sudden went away. Listen, I'm going to do my plugs, and then I'm going to go away and let you guys fight for the rest of the night.
We got
you want to get a joke every day at 4:20, just follow me on Twitter, at Jackie Martling, JackieMartling. And if you want to know where I'm working and you want to hear dirty jokes on the telephone, 516-922-WINE, which is 516-922-9463. All the information is always on jokeland.com. And one thing I didn't say is I send out jokes, which you guys probably get already. I send out jokes once or twice a month via email. So all you got to do to get on that list is email me, jokeland@AOL.com. I get so much crack from everybody for still being on AOL, but, I'm lazy, and it works. I've always done it that way, so who cares? It's JOKELAND, jokeland@AOL.com. You email me, you get dirty jokes. And I'm doing the Cutting Room this Saturday at 8 p.m. with Jenna Kingsley in Manhattan, and Friday night, Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey, and Jersey Shore with Dean and Jerry at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club in Point Pleasant, which is it's downright pleasant is what it is. And I just booked Levity Live up in Nyack. Have you ever worked up in Nyack? That is a great neck of the woods up there.
Nyack? Yeah. What the hell? I never even heard of that.
I used to kill up there. There was a little club called Mr. Rips. I worked there for about 8 years, like 3 times a year. It was across the street from sheep and goats. It got quiet in the club. You could hear the sheep. I swear to God.
What did they do with the sheep at night? Wait a minute. What about those guys in the bar? Like after a few drinks and the women all went home. Did they grab a sheep?
That would have been me.
Did you grab a sheep?
Yep.
Jackie, did you ever? I used to hang out back in the 80s and 90s at Catch a Rising Star in the city. Did you do any shows there?
Well, I didn't work there. I just did Catch a Rising Star at the Princeton Hyatt in Jersey a couple of weeks ago. But Catch was the first place where I actually waited online in the late 70s where you got a number and went up on audition night and auditioned there. But I never went in there and worked as a regular. No, I was on Long Island producing shows and making money. The people working Catch and the Improv and the comic strip, they were getting paid $5 a night, and meanwhile I was making a couple $100 a night on Long Island. I wasn't going anywhere, but I was producing shows and making money, and I wound up leaping right over the whole club business right onto the Howard Stern show. So, I stayed on Long Island and made my records, and so my plot worked just as well as anything. It never got me on television, but it got me rich and famous on the Howard Stern show.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, it doesn't matter where you come from. A lot of people think, well, you got to be in L.A. or you got to be in New York City. No, man. Long Island, a lot of big famous people came out of Long Island that didn't even have to do that whole Manhattan thing.
Yeah, the Manhattan, Manhattan is really the place to do everything, and you really do have to do that. I was absolutely ridiculously lucky. It's one of those things where I'd have to say to the kids, don't try this at home. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's that simple. All right, listen, I got to go have sex with my cat. Joanne, send me an email if you want to come do the show. And we'll do this again when I got something else to promote. I don't want to stay on too long because I know, my voice gets tiring to the poor people listening to this garbage.
Yeah, because forget about it. Talk the ears off a dead dog. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I apologize for that, but that's
I'm kidding.
No,
but
that's
great.
what you get. So
I'm glad.
My cat is literally clawing at me. I wish we could tweet some pictures. But
Sal,
I love you and thanks for having me on. And Joanne, I look forward to meeting you. And I can't wait to get my treatment from you.
Let me ask you something. Does the cat? How many positions do you do with the cat?
Just the one. He's sitting on me right now. It's Jake. Not only is it a cat, he's a male. That's how bad.
So you and the cat are gay?
Yes, of course.
Well,
I'm hanging up. I love you. Thanks for talking to me. Do me a favor. Post those plugs that I gave you. Put them on your website, or if people call up and ask, please give that to them. And if anybody has any questions, we'll do them next time. All right?
That's okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about you as soon as you hang up because we got about 15 minutes left. So if you want to listen, Jackie. Also, if you want to listen to the show, man, after 10 o'clock, the show's on the internet forever. So all you have to do is click on that link. I don't know. I sent you the link. You can just click on it and listen to yourself. Go.
Groovy.
Yeah, and if you want to rub one out while you're listening, that's a good thing too. You never know.
Nah, I already did it while Joanne was talking.
Oh. I love it.
All right, you guys. I'll see you later, Sal. Thanks.
Love you, brother. And you got my message. Maybe we'll be doing a few movies together.
I think he hung up already.
Did he hung up?
Funny.
Yeah. Was Jackie a maniac or what? Well, I mean, he's like,
but he's entertaining. That's what I like about him. He is
that's
entertaining.
what it is. He's been doing radio. He's been doing radio for so long that he's like, totally relaxed. Which I'm relaxed too. But so are you. But I mean, you could hear how he could just go, without stopping.
Yeah. I mean, I really love listening to him. And his life and how he got started in the business. That's amazing. Doing his own
I wanted him.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I wanted him to tell us that, because although a lot of people know who he is, right? They don't know how it started and what the question you asked, and he told that whole story about the kid in school, and people are like, oh wow, cool. I'm sure there's thousands of people that don't know that.
Exactly. But I did like the story. What was it? His brother in 8th grade? He read the letter, the dirty letter, and I guess that must have put a spark in him, as to what he really wanted to do. So he's probably, I guess that's his calling. This was his calling.
Yeah.
So you got to be pretty lucky to find out so early. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like for him, that was a big thing, the Howard Stern show, because they had this show on the E channel as well. So not only was he doing a radio show, but it was being shown on cable on the E channel. And the commercials, I remember, the commercials had Jackie Martling commercials of his albums. Right on. Those were the commercials on the Howard Stern show. Even commercials, TV commercials, not just radio commercials.
Yeah, I wonder if they reproduced any of those album covers. I was going to ask him that.
Yeah. He would have loved to tell you. I'm sure he would have told you. That's why I was saying, ask him any questions you want. He's got to be the first guest that we've had that signed off before 10 o'clock. Right.
I know.
Usually I can't. The other guests I can't. It's like 10 after 10 and they're still going. But Jackie did his thing and he was gone in 45 minutes, which I'm glad because he's giving me a headache. I'm only kidding. That's for when he listens,
Yeah, he's a character. I absolutely love that. I love the way that he laughs.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I like that the most. Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody called in. I'm really surprised at that.
Well, people are listening. People listen more than they call.
Right. You know what it is? Sometimes people don't want to, they don't know what to ask, or they're a little intimidated. So
exactly, and they become intimidated, and they don't say anything. So they are listeners.
Hey, so this could be a big. Huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said this could be a great thing for you now. That Tuesday, you're going to go to the show?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, my Lord. Now you put me on the bench here. He invited me to the show. Oh, my God. Okay, so yes, I will definitely go. And after we hang up, I'm going to send him a text, and I'm going down there.
You might get a job while you're over there in Sirius Radio. You never know.
Oh, my Lord.
You never know.
I have to come back and do a hookah dance then.
And then I got to be a guest on your show. But I've been there. You're going to love it, man. I mean, you can't get in the door without all the security. You know, they got this all the security downstairs, and they actually take your picture, and they make a card that they put on your shirt, a sticker, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, wow.
It's really, really heavy-duty stuff.
Oh, I'm so excited, Sal. I'm getting excited.
Oh, this is great. You know?
Yeah. I'm really getting excited. This is, oh, wow, wonderful. Ah.
And see, he just told the story. Now, you never know. See how things could happen. He just told us his story of how he sent his records out and Howard Stern called him and he ended up on the Howard Stern show. Now, we just had Jackie on our show, and he's inviting you to his show. And once you're there, you never know where things go from there. You know?
Oh, my Lord. Now I'm nervous.
Next thing you know, I'll say, Joanne, you don't want to be on the Sal Sirchia show no more? Now you're going to be...
to my Sal. Are you kidding?
So as long as you're off on Sunday, so we could do our show, you know?
That's right. There you go.
So what are we going to do about this show, The Walking Dead? Everybody's always telling me they can't listen to the show because they're watching The Walking Dead.
I have not seen it. I have to see it. I want to start it from the beginning. I just got off that kick with Breaking Bad. I watched all of Breaking Bad from the... Have you ever seen that?
Breaking Bad? I don't know. See, I really am... Jackie was right about me. I'm like a caveman. You know?
Well, I'm not a caveman.
I'm still watching reruns of Oz.
Are you really? Oh, I loved Oz. Let me tell you.
No. So tell me about the show.
But you know something? But now that I have that we're talking about this, why did they take that off the air? Well, why? Because it seemed to me like it could go on and on and on. This storyline, I didn't get that.
You're talking about Oz, right?
Yes.
You're talking about Oz, right?
I'm talking about Oz.
Yeah. Okay. The show was really on top at the time, and Tom Fontana, the creator and writer of the show, he didn't want it to get rusty. He wanted it to go out while it's still on top. So he was, he had to write he would write 8-9 episodes every season, and it was getting harder and harder. Not harder and harder, but I mean we did season 6, and then he decided to cancel the show while it was still on top. He didn't want it to get boring.
Wow, I was so disappointed. I was really, really getting into it, and poof. And another show that I loved that was on Showtime, Boss. I was going crazy for that show, and then they snatched it. It was gone.
Yeah.
They're starting to do a lot of that, and I believe Oz was HBO, right?
HBO, yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The thing about I was very bummed out about Oz ending as well because I got into acting in 2001 and I got on Oz they were already in the middle of season 4. So then I ended up working in season 4, season 5, season 6, and I was getting very close with everybody to the point where they would put me up front a lot, and I was getting close to doing some speaking parts. There was the director, one of the directors who worked, his name is Roger Reeves, English actor. He directed a couple episodes, and he really liked me, and he was going to do an episode where he was going to give me some lines, and I was going to be doing some some juggling on the magic tricks on the stage. That was the episode when Michael Wright, who played Omar White, was on the stage. It was like a talent show, and he sang, "I wanna be free, like the bluebirds flying by me." You know Michael Wright, right? The actor?
Yes.
And
absolutely.
you remember that? Did you see that episode?
I saw that episode.
They haven't changed the whole thing.
Upset.
They all apologized to me because before him, I was supposed to be on the stage doing some flower tricks and juggling and making all these mistakes and cursing to everybody in Italian from the stage.
Right.
And then they all took me in the room and apologized to me. They thought I was going to be so upset because there wasn't going to be enough time in the episode for that extra spot. And I said, no, that's fine. I was fine. They said, Sal, nobody would take it as nice as you did. Everybody else gets upset if you tell them, we can't do this, we can't do that. I was like, no, whatever, man. I don't care. No big deal. I was a little bummed out because I was like, oh wow, I was going to get some speaking up there, and the camera was going to be all on me. But it didn't happen. But if they would have continued the show, I probably would have moved up pretty fast.
Yep.
But no big deal because right after that, I made great friends with all the actors on there, and Anthony Chisholm, which wants to be on our show. I'm going to try to get him on the show. He's a fantastic actor, and he's one of my best friends, Anthony Chisholm. We talk all the time on the phone. And we keep in touch with him, which led me to getting in the movie Coalition, where I did the speaking parts with Chuck Zito and Frank Vincent. So, being I didn't do it over there, my connections from Oz gave it to me on the outside in the movie. So that's how that happened,
Very good.
Yeah, So look, this is the Sal Sirchia show is really becoming the Sal Sirchia show tonight because I'm plugging myself now. Now, Joanne,
this is a good thing because
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying this is a good thing because in between your guests, I'm sure that people are saying, gee, I wonder sort of things that Sal has done. I mean, I'm sure they know things about you, but every time that I talk to you and you bring up a movie or whatever, I go, wow, I didn't realize that he was part of that or he did this. So it's always a good thing to do that. Good for you.
Yeah, and also
what's your question?
I was going to say a lot of people out there that listen to my show might not know that you also have your own show. And what night is your show and what time?
Oh, it depends on the guest because, as you know, I have all these hosts on. So my open days are Wednesday and Fridays. I have a guest on, or I have a host that does a once a month on a Wednesday and Friday. So I'm on Wednesday, Friday. Not every Wednesday, Friday. It's like peppered here and there. But I have guests on. And my topic is always about people who are living their passion and, how they started out. I've talked to people who started out as a physicist and wound up as a comedian. And, it's like, wow. But you know what I learned that has been very interesting to me, Sal, since I started my show? I've learned that people have more than one passion. I've grown up to believe that you can only have one passion, and you have to, tweak that and make that yours. But you can have a lot of passions. You can have things that you are passionate about. It doesn't have to be just one thing. People are doing 3 and 4 different things now than ever before, the way I'm seeing it. And I think that's fantastic. I mean, look at you. You're a musician, and then you're an actor, and whatever else you've done. You're not just a musician.
Oh, yeah,
right?
because I enjoy a lot of things. I sing a songwriter, musician, actor, radio host.
There you go.
I recycle my cans at pass mark,
Yeah, that's right. That's
whatever
right.
it takes, And
that's right.
I enjoy a lot of things. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some people who. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say that's what I'm finding that's what life is all about, enjoying it to its utmost, and just experimenting different things.
Yeah, definitely. There's some people have, there's people that what I get a kick out of is the people who are made it in a certain position but yet they like something else. In other words, remember last week's show when 2 weeks ago I was talking to Steve Thompson and I said so many producers and people in the record industry and rock stars are really, really into sports.
Right.
You remember?
Yeah. Yes,
so
I do.
It's like the sports people want to be rock stars, and the rock stars want to be sports players.
Sports people, yeah, exactly. That's because, don't you think, that people want to try a little bit of this and a little bit of that, or things that they didn't get to do in their childhood. Maybe the rock star didn't get to, play baseball like he wanted to, or, vice versa.
Oh, yeah. I remember Pepe Marcello, who passed away recently, the singer from the Good Rats. They're a great band. And he always wanted to be a ball player. And he never made it as a ball player, but he made it as a rock star. So he would walk up on stage with a baseball bat and start singing. And he held on to the baseball bat like he was playing baseball on stage. So,
I love it.
It's amazing. And what happens is, to me, this is what I think. We got 4 minutes left. And we'll finish up.
Yeah.
But what happens, what I think it is. When you've made it, and I hope everybody's paying attention when I say what I'm talking about, people who are listening. When a person makes it to what they wanted to make it to, and now it became a job. It's no longer doing it for fun or passion.
Right.
Now let's say rock star, for instance. You're obligated to go on tour for 6-7 months. And, you don't want to do that. You want to be home with your wife or your girlfriend or your family or your kids, but you have to do this now. Now it's not fun anymore because it's an obligation.
Yeah.
So the other thing becomes more fun that you're not obligated to.
Exactly.
Like Steve Thompson, like when we were talking to him, he's a well-known, huge music producer who's made it to the big times.
Right.
Producing huge people, right? So now that's work for him now. He wants to watch the ball game because that's work. I don't want to talk about work.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
I understand
these people
what you say. Hey.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess we could wrap this up, right? What the heck? Why go over? We got like 2 minutes left or something like that, right?
Yeah. We can
I hope a lot of people pay. Yeah. All right, so this has been the Sal Sirchia Show. We had my partner, Joanne Baby, and the great Jackie the Choke Man Martling. You guys ain't seen that yet. Wait until you see who we get next week. So we're going to sign out, Joanne, all right?
Okay, yes, we are. And,
all right.
I'll let everybody know. I'll let everybody know how I did on Tuesday on Sirius Radio. Oh,
man. I might even have to call in. I'm going to have to call in.
You do that. I would love that. Okay.
And believe it or not, I actually have the VIP phone number for people to call in. Jackie gave it to me a long time ago when we did a movie together.
Oh, really?
Did you know we did a movie together called Send No Flowers?
Yes, I remember you said that before. Yes, I did.
Yeah, matter of fact, the pictures that
I'm sure people didn't know that, so
yeah,
a lot of people didn't.
Yeah, the pictures that I've been posting on Facebook. Well, one of them of me and him together was on the set of the movie, and another one that we were in different clothes. That was from a premiere of a different movie we went to. So, we've hung out quite a few times, and we keep in touch on the phone, and we might be doing some cool stuff together real soon as well. So, see what happens.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right, Joanne. So anything else you want to say before we hang it up?
For everybody to have a wonderful rest of their day.
And thank you for listening, whoever's out there worldwide. Will we get the numbers tonight? I guess tomorrow, huh?
Oh, we'll get them in the morning.
Sounds good to me. All right, cheers, folks. Love yous all, and peace and love and all that other good stuff.
Take care.
Thank you for listening. This has been a Mathis Media Hub production.